It's a beautiful afternoon for baseball from Alumni Field in Keene. Today, a special broadcast of Keene High School baseball as they finish off 2026 against the visiting Portsmouth High Clippers. Greetings, everyone, and welcome back to Keene High Athletics. Ryan Goodwin alongside sports editor of the Keene Sentinel, Mike McMahon. Last time we did one of these games, it was a cold, wet, and dreary senior day last season, and the Blackbirds lost to Salem High. But today the weather is a lot better. Also a different feel for this Keene High team, as they've had a rough go of things and have also potentially after today been eliminated from playoff contention. Mike?
Still alive as of today, though. We're obviously paying attention to some other games around the state today and the rest of the week. But if you win here, you keep yourselves alive, you give yourselves a chance. First step is to get the win today against Portsmouth, though.
Absolutely, and for Portsmouth, they're a team that's in a very similar spot to the Blackbirds, just 5-12 coming in on the year. From late April into early this month, they dropped 6 in a row, but they've since stabilized as they're just 3-3 in their last 6. However, they're coming off a loss yesterday to Timberlane, and similar to Keene, are hoping to end this season strong, maybe get into the playoffs as well, and they'll have an opportunity to do that today against this Keene High group. So, we'll get this one underway in just a few moments, but first we'll get a look at the lineups. First for the visiting Portsmouth High Clippers. Leading off is the catcher Hugh Herder. Max Herder plays third base, batting second. Xavier Lampert is on the mound. He pitches, also DHing. Jackson Hooper is in left field, batting cleanup. Cam Stacy at first, bats fifth. Jake Poulin at short, bats sixth. Jack Moreau in the 7-hole at second base. Nate Delaney in right field, batting eighth. And Blaze Bocash, the center fielder, batting ninth. Against the Keene High starter today, Solis Bergquist.
Yeah, Bergquist, this is your #1 pitcher today. On the mound for you in a must-win, obviously. A strike thrower, a guy who's not going to strike a ton of guys out, keeps his pitch counts low. 3-3 on the year, a 2.67 ERA. Great outing in his last start against Nashua North. Went 7 innings, only allowed 3 hits, 1 walk with 6 strikeouts, just 69 pitches in that game. So what you're looking for today is efficiency and defense is the key for a Keene High win here today.
Yeah, and that game, as you mentioned, Mike, helped the Blackbirds pick up their 5th win of the year, put them at the time to 5-10. Coming in today, 6-12. The win obviously would get to 7-12 and still have a chance. If Salem High can lose their last 3 games and the Blackbirds win this one today, they will sneak in to a playoff spot.
Yep, looking for that 15th and final playoff seed. Obviously, we put you in a tough matchup there in the first round, but always nice to extend your season. Keeping an eye on Salem today. They're tied 2-2 in the second against Timberlane. We'll give you some updates as this one goes on that game over there on the other side of the state.
Trying to battle back here is Bergquist, and he will. Gets it to 3-2 against Hugh Herder. Try to retire the leadoff man. For the visiting Clippers, here's the full count pitch, and it's going to be on the ground to second. Sam Goodwin has it there and flips to first in time for out #1. It's a nice job by Bergquist to battle back a little bit after falling behind 3-0, and he's able to get the first out. Brings up Max Herder now, the third baseman. Nice flip there in time to the first baseman, Aiden Hodgman.
Hey Max, hey Max.
First pitch now to Max Herder is in the dirt, ball 1. Portsmouth also, as you mentioned, a similar record, 5-12 coming in. At one point this year, lost 6 straight. But again, 3-3 in their last 6, so they've improved a little bit. That went in there for strike 1.
They're a team where Keene High gets the win today. We'll be rooting for Portsmouth in a couple of days when they take on Salem in the regular season finale.
Good stop there by Ilyas Azizadine behind the dish. And count now 2-1 here on Herder. Next week, the Keene Swamp Bats will be starting up their title defense from a year ago at home against the Danbury Westerners at 6:35 from Alumni Field. Obviously, this is the test broadcast for that.
How good does this field look? Looks ready for opening day.
Oh, I think so, yeah. Been plenty of rain here, too, this spring, so looks fairly green. Definitely outstanding looking as it's lined into right field. That's down for a base hit. A one-out single for Max Herder. Brings up the number 3 man, the pitcher, Xavier Lampert, doing the DHing in the lineup.
Yep, their top arm and their top bat, 4 home runs on the season. He's the guy who could do a little bit of damage left-handed bat here at Alumni Field. Alumni always very friendly to left-handers.
Yeah, indeed. That left center field area, always talk about it every time we're here. Very short, especially with metal bats. Get a ball in the air, can travel. And also on a day like today when it's warm out, nice weather, ball carries a little bit more. That one swung out and missed for strike 1. Got to have Lampert in the order, even if he's pitching. Again, as you mentioned, Mike, 4 home runs to lead the Clippers. Can't lose that bat. Here's the 0-1. It's stopped there again by Bergquist. This time with a runner at first. Keene High last season took on Portsmouth. They met them over there and won that game. It's basically to this day. A year ago, May 28th, they beat him 5-2. Bergquist falling behind here, 2-1. Trying to battle back again. Was able to battle back to get the leadoff man, Hugh Herder, after falling behind 3-0. And got him on a ground out on a full count pitch. That one will miss, ball 3. A good hitter's count here for the dangerous Lampert.
Good patience at the plate there from Lampert after an early swing in the count. Kind of reflected himself, stayed patient, now got himself in a hitter's count.
Yeah, not really a bad miss either there from Bergquist, the 3-1. And that one will catch the outside corner, it looks like, for strike 2. So another full count. This will be the 17th pitch of the inning for Solis. Left fielder Jackson Hooper waits on deck. Here's the 3-2, second of the inning. And it's poked into left field. Is it going to hang up? And it's going to get over the head of the left fielder, Trabolski. Heading to third is Herder. He's in there sliding, and an early opportunity to score here for the Clippers. They have second and third with 1 out. What'll probably be ruled a double for Lampert. Just got over the outstretched arm of Zaid Trabolski in left field.
Yeah, they had the outfield shift a little bit, you know, towards right center there. Trabolski was in a little bit of was in a good position, I thought. Just didn't get a great jump on it. Maybe battle in the sun there a little bit this time of day in left field at Alumni. But the Clippers kind of in business here with 2 on with 1 out.
So an early jam for Bergquist to work out of. Didn't really have that many to work through against Nashua North. That one grounded foul.
We'll see a first early kind of decision here for Mike Sweeney to bring the infield in. This is obviously a Keene High offense that has struggled to score runs. You kind of want to try to avoid a crooked number here in the first, because this is an offense that has struggled to play from behind points in this season. So try to limit that first run here. See if you can get out of here with a 0.
0-1 in there for strike 2. He's quickly ahead of the cleanup man Hooper. He was looking to do damage here. Put the Clippers on the board first. Bergquist, as you mentioned, typically fills up the zone. This will be pitch number 21 of the inning. And he's going to step off for a moment.
A little back and forth there with his shortstop, Braden French. I think maybe a little bit of concern about Lampert maybe signaling from second, some signs in, asking French there kind of stepping up, asking Azizadine to come out, talk to his catcher, talk to his pitcher, maybe reset the signs there. But a heads up by French to kind of be aware of what's going on there at second base. Obviously, you see that so much in the pros, right? So it's nice to see high schoolers pick up on that kind of stuff too.
Yeah, it certainly does go on down here as well. Part of the game, but something you have to deal with as a pitcher. Here's the 0-2. And it's going to be grounded to short. French, his only play is going to be to first. He flips there in time. Run does come in to score as Herder crosses. It's 1-0 Portsmouth, but they do get the second out.
Yeah, hit just softly enough where French didn't really have a play there at home. Smart to just take the out there.
Yeah, the runner did hold up at second. That's Lampert, not able to advance because of the grounder right at the shortstop. French with a little bobble there, but good job to recover. And still get Hooper running to first. Now here's Cam Stacy. The first baseman looks at ball one. Trying to end this inning right here. No further damage. Just one run so far for the Clippers.
Yeah, French not exactly a natural shortstop. He kind of just bounced around the infield a little bit this year. Started the year at first base. He's played outfield previously in his career. He's kind of bounced all over the place in his 3 years for Keene High, but he's kind of settled into short when Bergquist is on the mound here. And nice play there to kind of stay composed and stay with it after the bobble.
Yeah, we've seen him pitch obviously a number of times this year as well. That one's grounded to Hodgman. It gets past him, but luckily it rolled foul before it did.
Close to a disaster too. If that ball hit him, he was in foul territory as it went by.
Yeah.
So I don't know how they would have ruled that if that happened to catch his glove or something, but they avoid maybe potential disaster there.
Would have certainly been the second run. It took kind of a weird hop there before it got to the base, but luckily rolled just foul and skipped over his arm. Now here's an 0-2 from Bergquist. That one's going to be popped up. Running over is the third baseman, not able to get to it. It's Caden McDaniels over at third. Trying to finish the inning. This will be pitch number 25. He's had to labor quite a bit. And one run already in. He stemmed the tide here. Instead, it's going to be blooped in the left field to base hit. Trabolski's going to come up gunning. The throw is a little close, but not in time. In fact, it gets away from Azizadine, and that will make it 2-0 Portsmouth. So an RBI single, nice piece of hitting there from Cam Stacy going the other way, and Portsmouth in front by a couple runs here in the top of the first.
Yeah, we've seen that 3 times now. Portsmouth hitters deep in counts with 2 strikes on them, willing to just take what Bergquist gives them, go the other way. I think all 3 hits have been in the opposite field in this inning so far.
So gets the inning to the number 6 man, the shortstop Jake Poulin. And that one inside, ball 1. It's been a long inning for Bergquist on the mound. That was pitch number 26. Again, just trying to get out of it without any further damage. Does have 2 outs. That one will catch the plate for strike 1. Pretty nice day for a game. A little on the warm side, but sun's been out pretty much all afternoon. A lot better weather than we had here last year.
It's about probably as hot as it's been in a game that they've played so far this year, which is a challenge for Bergquist, right? You know, you kind of spend most of the high school spring season pitching in, 40s, 50s, and you know, maybe if you're lucky in the 60s with the sun out, right? But once it gets 85, the mentality kind of changes a little bit for a pitcher, and especially when you're dealing with a long first inning like this. Just recovery and kind of settling back in and finding a groove.
Now we're going to be lined into center field. It dunks down in front of Tinnen. So the inning will continue for at least another hitter. As Poulin with a base hit. So now first and second with 2 out. The number 7 man, Jack Moreau, will get a look. Another RBI spot now here for the Clippers. Thought maybe Bergquist was going to work out of it, 1-0. And the 2-out single from Stacy drove in a run, and another base hit, so the inning continues. Here's the first pitch to Moreau. It is fired in for a strike. Definitely a summer type feel to this game today. We are almost in the month of June, hard enough to believe, as the 0-1, it gets past Azizadine. Both runners are going to advance. Gets to it quick enough. But now another base hit could score 2. Down at 1-1. And you don't want to uncork another wild pitch either. I'll bring in the runner from third.
Hey, Jack. Hey, Jack. Hey, Jack. Be your kid. Come on.
Blackbirds try not to fall any further behind than 2 runs. They'll have obviously the top of their order due up in the bottom half of the inning. This one grounded sharply. McDaniels handles it and flips in time to finally end the inning. A long inning, though, for Bergquist and the Blackbirds defense. They allow a couple that are coming up in the bottom of the first.
If you're not here for Fandom 101, you're in the wrong class. Here, we learn the fundamentals of fanology, the basics of bringing the noise, and the physics of bringing it out. Your path to fan mastery begins here. It's all part of the curriculum. The NCAA Championships. Attendance is encouraged. Passion is mandatory. Buy your seats today at ncaa.com/tickets. Class dismissed.
College sports fans, get ready for game day with officially licensed merchandise from the NCAA official online shop, ncaa.com/shop. Get the whole family geared up with the best collection of apparel and accessories, including t-shirts, sweatshirts, headwear, championship gear, and more. Visit the NCAA shop for today's special offer and rep your favorite team now. Only at ncaa.com/shop.
Bottom half of inning number 1 coming up. The Blackbirds trailing 2-0 here in this one. And we'll get a look at their lineup before they come to the plate. Leading off is Colin Tinnon in center field. He's had a very good year. Sam Goodwin at second base, batting second. Braden French at short, bats third. Aiden Hodgman in the cleanup spot at first base. Elias Azizadine catching, batting fifth. Cade McDaniels at third, bats sixth. Nolan Connors in right field, batting seventh. Solis Bergquist on the mound, bats eighth. And Zay Trabulski, the left fielder, bats ninth. Going up against the starter for Portsmouth High, and it's Xavier Lampert, who again we saw at the dish in the top half of the first inning. He's also been pretty effective on the mound, Mike.
Yeah, this is their guy, right? And, like we said at the top of the broadcast, these are must-wins for Portsmouth as well. 3 games this week. There's nothing really to leave in the tank. So they're sending their guy up against the Keene team that has struggled offensively. Batting 240 as a unit coming into this game, only slugging 300. No home runs for the Blackbirds on the year. Maybe a good day for it out here to change that. But just looking for a little bit of life. It kind of starts here with Tinnon, a speedster, a guy who can get on base, batting 283 this year. You're up against it here, 2-0, season on the line, looking to extend things into June. We'll see if this offense can find a little late life here.
We've seen him make some really nice defensive plays throughout his tenure at Keene High. An outstanding one against Nashua North last week. Goes after the first one, fouls it back for strike one. Owls facing an early deficit. The Blackbirds facing an early deficit. Sorry, I might do that a few times on this broadcast. Used to Keene State. Went in there for strike two. Owls had a good year this year. Fell in the LEC championship to Southern Maine. Just had a tremendous year, did the Huskies. And that one's going to be grounded through the hole and into center field, a base hit. A good job there by Tinnon. Falling behind 0-2, but puts a nice swing on the ball, and the Blackbirds have the leadoff man aboard.
Yeah, that's a really good job there by Tinnon. Kind of staying within yourself. Just putting the ball in. When you have the speed that Tinnon has, just put the ball in play on the ground and dig. You can beat out a lot of ground balls, especially the other way. So use your speed to your advantage. You don't have to hit 400-foot home runs all the time.
No. Here's Sam Goodwin goes after the first one. That ball is going to dunk down foul. Little ways off to the right of the chalk. Also had a good year.
Yeah, second on the team in average, batting 298, OPS is 760. Just kind of been one of the guys on this team that's had success getting on the base at a consistent rate. And fits really well here in the two-hole in this lineup.
0-1. He's going to go after that one. It's going to be caught, though. It hangs up just enough for the shortstop Poulin for the first out. Thought maybe we'd have another little bloop single there, but not hit quite hard enough. And now here's Braden French.
Frenchie leading the team in most offensive categories this season, batting 340 on the season, 930 OPS, team high 10 RBIs, 5 doubles. No home runs, though, which is a little surprising for me. I think if you told me coming into the year that he would be sitting on May 27th without a home run, I wouldn't believe you. but a lot of potential of big bat here for Keene for the last couple of years, and see if he could bring Tinnen all the way in from first here.
Yeah, talk about no home runs. This is about an ideal day as you're going to have for the ball leaving the yard. Certainly as ideal as it's been all year.
Yeah, you know, Keene hasn't really been a home run power team the last few years, but when you play at Alumni Field, you could hit fly balls at center field here that could get out. So
yeah,
it's surprising to have a Keene High team not put any balls over the fence so far this year. As Tinnen didn't really get a good read on that one to get a jump to second base, and he'll remain at first. I think French went around there.
Yeah, they did rule the base umpire saying he went around. It looked like he did from this angle. And he's quickly behind 0-2. Lampert working ahead of guys here early. This will be just his 8th pitch. Although it was on an 0-2 that Tinnen reached with a leadoff single. Aiden Hodgman is on deck if it gets that far. Here's the 0-2. That one in the dirt. Good eye that time for French not to go after it.
Seen a few different pitches now already from Lampert. You know, we've obviously seen the fastball, seen a good curveball. I think there was a changeup there in the dirt, a good pitch against French. We'll see what he goes back to here. French has seen everything he has so far.
1-2, and it's going to be grounded sharply to second, flip to second for one, and on to first, not in time. French beats it out to keep the inning alive for Aiden Hodgman. The ball hit pretty sharply. It was knocked down at second base by Moreau, but just not able to recover quite in time to be able to get French at first. Still a good job to keep it in front of him. Here's Aiden Hodgman now, trying to keep the inning alive. Blackbirds had a leadoff single from Colin Tinnen. Did he go? He did not. Tinnen erased there on the fielder's choice. French now takes his place at first. Thought maybe they would get Colin in motion, but did not at all during any of those at-bats. There just haven't been many great counts to run on either from Lampert. He's been getting ahead of guys early. Here's a 1-1. Big cut there from Hodgman, but comes up empty, and it's 1-2. Keep the inning alive. Two up next would be the catcher, Ilyas Azizadine. Here's the 1-2. And that's in there for a called strike 3. Hodgman didn't like it, but a good first inning from Lampert. We head to the top half of the second, 2-0 Clippers.
You'll still have common days. Get caught in traffic during your commute. Overthink a text message. Get a song stuck in your head. This is not one of those days. A few weeks a year and you'll discover the most uncommon time of your life.
In life, things aren't scripted.
If you're an athlete, we need people like you and translate those skills to officiating.
You can get a lot out of it. It happens in every town, in every game.
We never have a perfect game, but the rewards always outweigh the negativities.
To the top half of inning number 2 we go, and the Clippers coming up already with a 2-0 lead against the Blackbirds. For them, it'll be 8-9-1. Nate Delaney, Blaze Bocash, and Hugh Herter due up in the second against Celeste Bergquist.
Yeah, we'll see if Bergquist can settle back in here after a long first inning, kind of labored through it.
Yeah.
But with 3 strikes in that inning, you know, it was kind of the base hits that got him there. 4 hits in the first. Already eclipses how many he allowed in his last start against Nashua North. So you just, you know, stand calm knowing that you're throwing strikes. you know, got to keep kind of letting them put it in play and just have your defense make the plays behind you.
Yeah, had to labor there in that first inning. As you saw on the scoreboard as well, 4-1 hits in favor of the Clippers. It was his 32nd pitch, so he had to throw 31 in the first inning. And the second one is gone after, hit in the air, and it is going to be off the wall. Thrown in quickly here by Connors, but not in time, and it's a leadoff double for the number 8 man, Nate Delaney. Thought maybe off the bat that ball had a chance to leave the yard, just given how shallow it is in center field. But
that was almost one of those classic Alumni field jobs where I think off the bat even, I'm not sure if Delaney realized
it had
that it kind of had that chance.
Yeah.
He kind of almost hesitated, even he almost didn't make the turn to go two. So, you know, it's kind of one of those fields where sometimes you don't feel like you got all of it, and then all of a sudden you hear it hit the chain link fence out there. And you're kind of like, oh, wow, okay.
That ball came close. Bocash lays down a bunt, and it's a good one. Flipped to first from Bergquist in time to get him. Bocash getting down the line pretty quick, but the sacrifice is effective as down to third goes Delaney with just one out. So another RBI spot for the Clippers, and the top of the order in Hugh Herter. Herter's first time up, grounded out. 4-3 over to second base. Good job though there by Bergquist, able to pick it up, set his feet, get rid of it quick. Bocash getting on the line well. That one in for strike one.
Infield in again for Mike Sweeney and the Blackbirds here.
Yeah, trying not to fall behind more than two. Been a hard time for them coming behind this year, but especially don't want to see that lead grow any further, and it will. It's going to get down into center field, a base hit. So in to score from third is Delaney. RBI single for Hugh Herter. And now it's 3-0 Clippers. They've just been doing damage against Bergquist so far.
Yeah, just being aggressive at the dish, taking good swings, taking what Bergquist gives them, not trying to do anything outside of themselves, just line drives, base hits, solid approach at the plate so far for the Clippers.
Max Herter now at the plate, looks at ball one. So look at the Clippers dugout. So that is the home dugout for the Keene Swamp Bats, but here in high school, the Blackbirds have always used the third base dugout as their home side, and the visitors get the first base side. 1-0 is hit in the air to center. It looks like it'll hang up for Tinnin as he comes in to make the catch. That'll be out number 2.
I think a big reason why the Blackbirds have always chosen the third base dugout is because the spring season here, it's a lot wetter. And as you guys know from the Swamp Bat season, when there is a rain in the summer, it happens less frequently, but it tends to pool there in that first base dugout.
Oh, yeah.
And I don't think Dan Moylan was a fan of that, so I think it happened Moylan preferred the third base dugout over here, but I think that was a reason for it. It just gets wet and you end up swimming over there in the dugout.
Yeah. Maybe a little bit of a relief on a hot day, but other than that, not ideal. First pitch now to the number 3 man, Lampert, the pitcher. That one in there for strike one. So Bergquist this inning, so far just 8 pitches. Has allowed the third run to score. They're trying to end it right here, have a much quicker inning, at least in terms of pitch count. Here's the 0-1. Just off the plate. Swamp Bats, of course, last year, most winningest season in franchise history. Captured their 6th NECBL title, went undefeated in the postseason as well. And their 2nd title victory over the Martha's Vineyard Sharks. And that was ironically the team they beat the last time they won it in 2019. One off the plate, ball 2.
What a thrilling end of the year that was. It
Yeah.
was truly incredible from the last game they played here at Alumni Field. I think, you know,
12-2 entering the bottom of the 8th inning. I think everybody thinks that game's over.
Yeah, Ripken Reese, obviously not a local, but a hometown hero for life in the city of Keene after that one. I think, you know, obviously the reported attendance was 2,000 something, whatever, but there's probably 6,000 people who say that they were here that night.
Mm-hmm.
Not many stuck around for the end of that one.
No.
But if you did, you certainly saw one of the greatest baseball games, one of the greatest comebacks you'll ever see at a ball field.
Yeah, I was. Oh my gosh. Yeah, the walk-off grand slam too to cap it all off, to come from behind. 13-12 has big swing and a miss there. That's a strikeout for Bergquist, his first of the afternoon. Does allow another run. It's 3-0 as we head to the bottom of the second.
I remember writing in the 2nd grade that I wanted to be a teacher, and I always knew that I was going to be a teacher. I started school a year early, and it created challenges for me because I wasn't able to pick up material as fast as the other students. Outside of school, my Jaju would quiz me on my math facts and read with me. It showed me that even though I had challenges in school, there were still people who wanted to help me. In high school, I knew I had to work harder than everyone else to get the same results, but I had teachers that would help me in subject areas outside of their own because they could relate to how I felt. The way these interactions with my Jaju and my teachers made me feel while I was learning is the inspiration for how I'd like my students to feel. I'm able to build relationships and be vulnerable with my students when they're struggling because I've been in their shoes and I know exactly how they feel. Being able to relate to them from my own experience has become a massive asset in becoming a teacher.
Look at some parents, perhaps fans, taking in this one today. 3-0 Portsmouth as they lead the Blackbirds here, entering the bottom of inning number 2. A lot of hits, as you see on the scoreline there for the Clippers, 6 to just 1 for the Blackbirds. But I want to go back a little bit to the end of kind of what we were talking about there at the end of the top half of inning number 2 about that Swamp Bats comeback. Just crazy because it was 12-2, obviously, entering the bottom of the 8th, but then it was 12-5 entering the bottom of the 9th, which is perhaps even crazier.
Yeah, I mean, Ripken Reese starts that inning off with a ground out to second base, and, you know, talking to him after the game, you know, you cut your mind kind of, because it's obviously a best-of-3 series, right? So now you're going on the road with you know, a chance to extend the series and get another game, and, you know, he's kind of already moving on to thinking about the next day, and then all of a sudden the rally starts.
You look up, and
yeah, and then, you know, he starts to prepare for another at-bat. And then obviously, you know, we know what happens from there, the grand slam. And then he turns around, you know, in the Vineyard in game 2 and just has one of the most incredible performances.
Yeah.
2 home runs. I mean, the kid was nonstop. Definitely, you know, there are a lot of Swamp Bats that we remember throughout the, you know, 27-year history, but I think Ripken Reese is a name that's going to resonate here for a long time, and people are going to remember what he did last summer in that series for a long, long time.
This one popped up to the pitcher. He's going to take it himself. So 1 pitch, 1 out. Lampert recording the out himself as Zizadine pops out. Route number 1 here in the bottom of the 2nd. But yeah, I mean, the thing about Ripken too was he was here, what, a couple summers? I think 24 and 25. So, but obviously the one last year is going to be the one that everybody remembers in this area for a long time. And 38-12 too in the overall. I mean, just a crazy season as cut on a miss there by McDaniels for strike 1. And also too, I think a lot of people forget, because of how crazy that game 1 comeback was, that mix up my teams again, the Swamp Bats were down 7-0 early in game 2 against the Sharks. And that's a quick out number 2 there as McDaniels grounds out. And brings up Nolan Connors now. 2 up, 2 down quickly here for the Blackbirds in the bottom of the 2nd. But yeah, the Swamp Bats were down 7-0 early in game 2 against the Sharks, and that was over in Martha's Vineyard, of course, where they ended up clinching it. And they scored 16 unanswered there and won the game 16-7. I mean, like it was nothing.
It was over early.
Yeah.
Right? You know, like they didn't leave it to the end like they did in game 1. And,
it was like the 5th. It was already like 12-7 or something.
Yeah, they were. People were in line for ice cream before the place is closed because that place cleared out pretty fast. Thanks to Reese with 2 home runs. Yeah, just the offense just kind of turned on there, and then the bullpen kind of got got it done. Obviously, Ben Dean, the local kid, the Cheshire County Cannon,
Yeah.
as he was dubbed last summer, which has kind of stuck with him, finishing out there on the mound. What a great season it was for the Swamp Bats, and I know there's a few returners on this year's team and a lot of exciting names, so it should be another good summer.
Nice cut there from Connors, but that one's going to go foul, and 2-1. Yeah, Michael O'Brien against Upper Valley to open up the playoffs. That was kind of a tight game too, 2-1. It was 1-1 for a long time. Actually, the Nighthawks won in front, 1-0. The Swamp Bats tied it up, and then finally the bottom of the ninth, no time wasted for Michael O'Brien. Blasted one over the wall in right field. 2-2 to Connors, cut on a miss. That's a very quick inning from Xavier Lampert. And we'll head now to the top of inning number 3, still 3-0 Clippers.
New Car Nissan of Keene has over 2,000 new and pre-owned vehicles to choose from. The largest selection of new Nissans in New Hampshire. Plus, every new Nissan comes with New Car's complimentary 20-year, 200,000-mile protection plan. And will deliver your new car anywhere in the Granite State for free. Come explore our stunning new state-of-the-art facility. Visit New Car Nissan of Keene today and discover why everyone loves a new car.
My name is Zachary Irving. I am a business management and finance major. After I graduate, I am going up to Bar Harbor, Maine. I'm going to work as a climbing guide for Acadia Mountain Guides. I'm going to get to be outdoors all the time and really do what I'm passionate about, which is teaching other people how to rock climb and showing them the places that I'm passionate about. Keene State allowed me to pursue my passions in a way that convinced me to pursue them for my career, and I'm glad that I'll be able to continue doing that afterwards.
Top half of inning number 3, the Clippers are coming up, leading 3-0 here against the Keene High Blackbirds. Blackbirds trying to keep their playoff hopes alive. And right now, the live score of the Timberlane and Salem game, it's 3-2 right now, Salem. They lead in the top of the 5th, and a runner at 3rd, I believe, for Timberlane, but 2 out.
Yeah, so a big hill to climb here for the Blackbirds. Obviously, you got to come back and win this one to even care about what else is going on around the state. But Salem, 3 games this week. They're all kind of winnable. They're all against teams with losing records. Obviously one of them against this Portsmouth team here, which is also fighting for a playoff life. Merrimack, which I think is out of it. Yeah, odds are certainly against Keene here, but if I'm Mike Sweeney, you kind of just got to get the guys together and you say, listen, we just got to take care of business one more day. And if it works out for us, it works out for us. But you got to take care of business here.
Ball popped up to Goodwin at second base by Hooper, 1 out here in the top of the 3rd. And once again, Bergquist needs another quick inning. He had a pretty quick one last time. Just 12 pitches in the 2nd inning. It did allow the 3rd run to come across. So if we can get a 1-2-3 here with a similar kind of pitching line as he had in the top of the 2nd, that's exactly what he needs.
Yeah, Bergquist is certainly somebody who knows his own style. He knows he's not missing a ton of barrels. He's going to give up some contact. And you just kind of have to be okay with that, right? And like guys like Collington and go get a ball in center field, like right there.
Yeah, excellent play there from Tinham running in. Not quite as crazy as the one he made last week against Nashua North. He's going over to his right, kind of dove for the ball and came up with it. We've seen him make a few catches like that, though, over his now 4 seasons here with Keene.
Yeah, certainly a tremendous athlete on the baseball field and the football field. A guy who could play, wide receiver, return kicks. He could play quarterback. He played quarterback at the end of last year. Just a dynamic athlete going to Franklin Pierce next year.
Yeah.
Just a fun, electric athlete to watch.
Little pop-up here from Poulin. It's going to get down right in front of Connors in right field for a base hit. So there'll be no 1-2-3. Still not many pitches for Bergquist. He can get out of it right here. And he'll bring up second baseman Moreau.
Second single of the day there for Poulin. Just what Bergquist gives him, both to the opposite field.
Yeah, kind of found no man's land there between Goodwin and Connors, obviously trying to come in all the way from right.
Healthy lead there at first.
See if they get him in motion. That one fired in for strike one for Bergquist. I mentioned he does that a lot, gets ahead of guys, fills up the zone. Jack Moreau trying to keep the inning alive for the Clippers. Very fast, bottom of the second for the Blackbirds. They'll have Bergquist, Trabulski, and Tinnindu up in the bottom of the third, 8, 9, and 1. Bergquist will get his first look with the bat this afternoon. Flips back into first, back safely there is Poulin. 1-1, man at first. This will be pitch number 50 of the late afternoon for Bergquist. And it's going to be popped up. Looks like it'll be deep enough for Connors. He makes the catch. Nice, quick, and efficient top of the third from Celeste Bergquist, and the Blackbirds are coming up, still down 3.
My name is Irini Stefanakos. I am an environmental studies graduate from Keene State. I just always had a passion for being outdoors and outdoor activities, so I figured why not choose a path where I can do that in my work. I did an internship with the Harris Center for Conservation my senior year. The best part for me was learning really what I want to do with my life, with my education. That internship really gave me the confidence and experience to go out and land a job as an aquatic biologist for Water and Wetlands in Grafton, Massachusetts. At Water and Wetland, we take part in the management of local ponds and lakes throughout Massachusetts, Rhode Island, and Connecticut. I typically spend my days collecting basic water quality data to monitor the health of these ponds and lakes, while also sometimes conducting herbicide and algicide treatments. This job is very niche, and the fact that it's aquatic based, I didn't think that's the path I would go, but here we are, and it's actually really cool, and I'm enjoying it.
Bottom half of inning number 3 as the Blackbirds are coming up. They'll get their third look at starting pitcher Xavier Lampert, who's done a very nice job against them so far. 2 scoreless, a couple of very efficient innings as well pitch-wise. And Timberlane in that other game, top of the 5th, they have tied it up at 3. Now we'll have a couple men on with 2 outs still in the top of the 5th. So a chance to maybe even take the lead, but first things first, obviously the Blackbirds have to take care of business today, and they find themselves with a little bit of a hill to climb, down 3 against the Clippers.
How great is the Game Changer app, by the way?
Oh, I know. Yeah, we can see it as it's going on, and in fact now middle of the 5th, so that inning ended.
Has totally revolutionized the way I do my job, where I can follow games that I'm not at and stuff like that.
Oh, I know. Usually it's like you'd have to, I don't know, like look online after the game, or even in the olden days you'd have to read a newspaper, or
I was going to say, there was Twitter for a while.
Twitter.
You would hope that some reporter was tweeting out scores or something like that. From before then, though.
Slow pitch there from Lampert, but it finds its way in. Looked like maybe a breaking ball to his counterpart, Celeste Bergquist.
Very comfortable with the breaking ball Lampert has been so far early in this one. Keene High, you just got to string together some good at-bats. Obviously Tinnin led off with a single. That was the only hit so far. A lot of soft contact since then. So yeah, just kind of trying to string at-bats together, but that's kind of been the problem with this Keene High team so far this year, is just they haven't strung enough together, back to back to get crooked numbers and big innings and stuff like that. They've been very reliant on drawing walks and things, in taking advantage of pitchers who aren't throwing strikes as much. So against a pitcher like Lampert, you got to grind, but also you got to find your spots.
Yeah. Bergquist chops that one softly. The shortstop has it, flips, and in time. Nice play made there by Poulin. And we were talking about Keene having to string together hits, and that's kind of how they manufacture their runs. That reminds me a little bit of my baseball team, the Boston Red Sox. I believe it's your team as well. And, it has not been a great year.
It's funny you bring it up because following this Keene High team, obviously high school versus pros is a whole different conversation.
Oh, of course, yeah.
But there is a lot of, it's been, you're exactly right. There's been a lot of the same issues because there has been some pretty good pitching this year for Keene High. And at times there's been good offense, but it seems like when they need the good offense, they don't get it. And when they only need 2 or 3, that's when they go ahead and put up 8.
Yeah. So going to be popped up. It's going to find its way into no man's land in foul territory. So count now moves to 1-1 here on Zayd Trabolski in left field. Yeah, the Red Sox 8-18 now at Fenway Park.
I wonder what I don't know what Keene High is at home. But
They are. I did look up. They're 4-5 this year.
4-5.
So about 500. They're 2-7 away from home, which again is more what you would expect. Typically, teams know how to play their home ballpark a lot better.
And Keene just has such a disadvantage travel-wise compared to everybody else in the state. Every road trip is an hour, or an hour and change. I always think it's funny how teams complain about having to drive out to Keene, but they fail to realize that every road trip for Keene is like that, and they do that half their season.
Yeah. Everybody treats Keene, I feel like, sometimes like it's the Wild West.
Yes.
Because, I mean, in a way, for a lot of New Hampshire, I think they view it that way. There's 2-2 there, swung on a miss from Trabolski. I mean, you have to drive, either Route 9, 101, but no interstate really that runs through Keene. Closest you get is 91. Swing and a miss there from Trabolski, and again, Lampert breezing through the lineup so far. His first time through. Wow, just 1 base runner. That was the leadoff single from this man, Colin Tinnan. Or the only hit, at least, that he's allowed. Braden French did reach on a fielder's choice back in the first. Tinnan takes a big cut at the first one to no avail.
See the effectiveness of the pitcher who can throw their off-speed stuff early in counts, late in counts, when they're behind, when they're ahead. At the high school level, when you have that kind of comfort with your secondary stuff, that's kind of when you start raising yourself to the second level, right? That's kind of where you separate yourself from average high school arms to a good high school arm. Is can you throw that second pitch, that third pitch, regardless of the count, regardless of the situation? That's a really hard hit ball.
Yeah, that ball is ripped into center field for Tinnan. He's going to be 2 for 2. The throw coming in quickly, but not even close to being in time. It's a 2-out double for Colin Tinnan. The Owls the Blackbirds have a little bit of a threat here in the bottom of the third. Again, I apologize. So it'll bring up a prime RBI spot here for Sam Goodwin. Trying to come through and get the Blackbirds on the board this afternoon.
Great contact there from Tinnan. He was all over that, jumped on it, which is just smart hitting. Lampert kind of missed with 2 breaking balls in a row. Hadn't seen a fastball yet in that bat. Tinnan's kind of sitting there on it and just drove that one to dead center field.
First pitch missing there from Lampert. Goodwin, his first time up, popped up to pull in it short. That one will catch the corner for strike 1. Trying to come through with Keene High's first run of the game. Be a big spot to get it to here as we near the middle innings. That one skipped in the dirt. Good stop again, and no advance for Tinnan. Good job behind the plate by Hugh Herder.
It was just the second double of the year for Colin Tinnan.
Wow.
Which
That's
is
surprising,
a little bit surprising because there's pop in that bat and there's speed, right? That's a guy who can turn singles into doubles.
Yeah.
But just his second double of the year.
2-1 here to Goodwin. That one well outside, ball 3.
The slug just hasn't been there for Keene High this year. It's been when they hit, it's singles. When they're putting up offense, it's singles and walks and stringing those together. But they've missed kind of like those big, like switching places, back-to-back doubles, stuff like that. And those are things you have to be able to do to string wins together. Good at bat there from Goodwin to put 2 on the pond for your best hitter.
Yeah, 5-pitch walk there from Lampert after the 2-out double, and now Braden French at the plate, and he represents the tying run in the bottom of the third. We're going to have a conference here on the mound. I don't know if we're going to have a pitching change. I believe this is just a conference. Nobody warming up right now for the Clippers in their bullpen. Blackbirds are going to have a little bit of conference as Tinnan comes over to meet Coach Mike Sweeney and the man who's going to be at the plate in just a moment, Braden French.
Yeah, just a simple message there for Lampert. Just calm him down a little bit. You know, you're one pitch away from getting out of this inning, right? It's the most trouble you've been in so far this afternoon, but you've been really efficient. You've been getting ahead of most hitters. And it's just facing a hitter like French, knowing that this is the best hitter in the lineup. Don't get frustrated. Stay cool. You're one pitch away from getting out of it.
As you mentioned earlier, Mike, the Blackbirds have not hit a home run at Alumni Field at all this season. Boy, would this be a moment for one right here. French representing the tying run, first and second, 2 out. And he looks at strike 1. By far the best scoring opportunity so far that Keene has had. It's all come with 2 outs. Looked like it was going to be another clean 1-2-3 for Lampert, but double from Tinnen broke that up. That one's in there for strike 2. Another good pitch. Had some spin on it.
Yeah, starts him off with 2 off-speed pitches in the zone. You know, French coming up with guys on base, right? He's probably looking for a first pitch fastball or something like that, something straight to hit. They did a great job of just digging in and not giving him much.
French got a battle here. He does ground one to third. Nice pick, and he's going to go with the force out, does Max Herter. And that gets the Clippers out of the jam. We head to the top of the 4th, middle innings now. Still 3-0 Portsmouth.
The first time I worked with clay, I had this visceral reaction, and I felt like it was the first thing that really came naturally to me. I loved making 3D art. In high school, we had free reign of the studio, so I shifted my schedule to be able to spend as much time in there as possible, and I made dozens of pieces. My high school art teachers inspired me to want to teach art. I originally came to Keene State for graphic design, but it wasn't for me. I wanted to work with my hands. Ceramics fit well into my life plan because I could still work on 3D art and then go on to get my master's in education and become a teacher. Art teaches students to think critically and creatively about problems. For example, when the pandemic began and we all went home, I still wanted to be able to create art, so my brother and I made a wood-fired kiln and ceramic studio. We made our kiln from upcycled materials we found in our hometown and were able to spend family time together making pottery. That kind of creative problem solving, like being able to make pieces while away from the kilns at Keene State, are the kind of lessons I want to be able to teach my students.
There is the first mountain shot of 2026. How good does that feel to see that shot back again? We had it all last summer with the Keene Swamp Bats, and we'll have it again for you this year if you tune in. And we were talking about staple moments. How about the staple moment of the 2026 Keene State Owls baseball season? It was when Dom Taliaferro's dad, Jeff Taliaferro, brought up some, almost like a cheesesteak type, I don't know, it was in like a slider roll, but it had like kind of shaved steak on it.
Okay.
And he brought it up into the booth when we were doing a game, and he kind of just like, he walked up unannounced into the booth. He just set it down, and like nobody at the time knew who he was. So we're like, what's going on? He set down like a piece of tinfoil or something. Didn't say anything. We knew it had food in it. And then we got a few camera shots of him, like, because he went back to the grill area where he had this grill. And we got a shot of him walking back to the booth, and we're trying to like follow him along. And then he eventually comes up and gives everybody in the booth some more of this food. It was awesome.
There we go.
It was almost one of those, like, you had to be there to kind of get it, I guess.
I could go for a steak and cheese right now.
Yeah. But we almost kind of laughed and like nicknamed it the Keene steak because I don't think it had any cheese on it. It was just shaved steak.
Just shaved steak. Interesting.
Yeah, in a slider roll. That's going to be strike 3 there for Bergquist. And Delaney down looking. Yeah, it's not a cheese. It's not like a Philly cheesesteak because obviously it's not on the sub. It doesn't have cheese. But it's just shaved steak on a little slider roll.
Huh. You gotta get some mayo on it.
Good. Yeah.
Or something.
It was pretty good though.
Right.
Here's Blaze Bocash. Look at strike 1. First time up.
Now, are you
sack bunt?
I don't know if you've ever been to Philly, but are you a cheese whiz or like a shredded cheese kind of guy on your cheesesteak?
I feel like I've never been to Philly, but I feel like I'd be a shredded cheese.
Yeah, that's the way to go too.
Yeah.
Because the tourist trap places in Philly will do the cheese whiz. I don't know
the
if
processed
I'm into that.
cheese whiz.
I don't know if I'm into that.
This one blooped into center. It's going to hang up actually for Tinnen. He'll make the catch going back a little bit for out number 2. The good thing is for Keene is that Bergquist seems to have settled in. Had a quick top of the third. Pretty quick top of the second as well, though. Did allow the run, but now looking for another scoreless inning here in the fourth. Try to keep it 3-0. And it brings up the leadoff man, the catcher, Hugh Herter. Yeah, I've heard all about the tourist traps, though, in Philly. Like the Pats and Genos, right? Those are the two big.
Yeah, those are the two. Yeah. Shout out to Nick Napolitano, former student assistant coach of the men's basketball team at Keene State when Keene State played Swarthmore in the NCAA tournament. That one I think is going to hook foul.
Yeah, that one's smoked, but luckily it will hook just foul.
But Nicky Knaps with a great recommendation of Delisandros, just outside of Philly, is where the Keene State men's basketball team went for cheesesteaks, and I went there the next day. Excellent spot. You got to find like the little mom and pop kind of places that have been open for forever.
Yeah,
that's the key. If anybody watching or listening to the broadcast is planning a trip to Philly anytime.
Trip to Philly. I would like to see the Citizens Bank Park, though. Obviously, that looks like a nice ballpark. Home of the Phillies, and then you got Lincoln Financial Field with the Eagles. That one lined into left field, a base hit for Herter, so make him 2 for 3 on the day. It'll keep the inning alive for Max Herter, the third baseman. I think what's pretty smart about how they set it up over there, too, is you have Citizens Bank Park, and then I think Lincoln Financial Field is right near there.
And the Wells Fargo.
And that's right near there, too.
When you drive through Philly on 95, you pass through all of it.
Yeah. That's the way to do it. Obviously, Kansas City does that, too, although the Chiefs are going to be moving places in a few years. They're going to be going to the Kansas side of things. But right now they obviously have Arrowhead and Kauffman Stadium right next to each other. 1-0, that one in there for a strike to Max Herter.
Big spot for Bergquist here to see if he could avoid going through the heart of the lineup with multiple runners on here, 2 outs.
1-1, runner goes, and
great
it's
run.
Yeah, grounded right through the hole in the right field. Goodwin couldn't get to it, obviously being drawn to the bag, and good piece of hitting there. Good setup for the Clippers. Now they got runners at the corners with 2 out. All of a sudden, some trouble here for Bergquist.
Yeah, not sure if that was, a hit and run or a run and hit situation there for Portsmouth. Obviously Max Herter at the plate probably knows the steal sign is on there, but Hugh not really picking up his coach as he rounds second there. A little bit of a hesitation. I don't know if he was maybe expecting the ball to be put in play there, but heads up, hitting from Max Herter to know runners going. I could put one the opposite way, get an easy base hit there, and now you got first and third with your best hitter up.
Lampert goes after the first one, fouls it back right over our booth here. There we are. I don't know if you can see us a little bit. Ryan Fitzpatrick over on the first base camera. He's going to have all the Keene Swamp Bats games for you this summer. Got to do a lot of them last year as well. In fact, was on the call for the championship game as that one stroked into right field and down a base hit. The Lampert comes through. 2-out trouble pays off for the Clippers, and they make it 4-0. Good piece of hitting there from Lampert, not trying to do too much. And again, now the deficit 4 for the Blackbirds. And the inning's still not over yet for Jackson Hooper.
Yeah, Portsmouth just very much at the plate, knowing that Bergquist is a guy that's going to come right at them, right? Is going to throw strikes, and so be ready to swing the bat. And if you get a fastball in the zone, jump all over it, right?
And skipped in the dirt there. Good stop by Azizuddin. This will be pitch number 65 of the outing for Bergquist. Actually, this will be 66. Have what, 69 pitches in the win against Nashua North last week?
I think that's what it was, yeah.
That one misses downstairs, 2-0.
I didn't like it either.
Blackbirds will have up Hodgman, Azizuddin, and McDaniels, 4, 5, and 6. Bottom half of this inning. And that one grounded through the hole again and into right. Rounding third, headed for home. Here's the throw from Connors. It is a beauty, and he's got him at the plate. Outstanding throw in right field from Nolan Connors as he's able to gun down the runner trying to score. That will end the inning, but another run does come across for the Clippers. It's 4-0 as we head to the bottom of the fourth.
If we should ever falter, should we ever hang by a string, remember we have each other through all the seasons, through everything. These unspoken wonders, these stories left to tell, there can't be any other who loves me quite as well. Through it all, summer, winter, spring, the wave of still my everything.
I'm gonna get you another look at the replay there of Nolan Connors. Nice throw from right field coming in. Just a perfect throw and able to gun down the runner at home. Very close.
Yeah, it was a little bit, you know, obviously it kind of looked like a good throw was going to get him, but the throw maybe a little high, but a good slide there. I think Ilias might have gotten him right on the helmet before the foot got in there. You know, we were talking about during the break, Ryan. My theory in high school is if the throw beats you there, it's kind of a principle thing, right? You know,
Yeah.
I don't think a coach is going to argue, you know, that kind of a call there. But a good throw from Connors to know the runner's going.
Yeah.
Bare hands it, scoops it, makes a solid strike to home plate to save a run there and kind of keep Keene within shouting distance here coming into the bottom of the fourth.
I think, too, you might have seen a little bit more of an argument maybe if, you know, again, that would have been the first run of the game, that type of thing.
Yeah.
But already up 4-0 of the Clippers. I mean, I'm not going to see it there. But, yeah, as you were saying, too, on principle, a lot of times at these levels, if a throw beats you, unless it's absolutely clear, the umpire's going to usually call you out. So Aiden Hodgman will lead off, 4, 5, and 6. Blackbirds now trailing by 4. Clippers did score a run with 2 out. That one grounded to third, throw to first in time. 1 pitch, 1 out. Grounded right at the third baseman, Max Herter. And another quick out here for the Blackbirds on offense.
Yeah, this has been a part of the lineup, part of the order that Mike Sweeney's kind of switched around a little bit throughout the year. Solis Berquist started the year as the cleanup hitter. They've you know, kind of cycled through a few different guys there. Hodgman's a guy that wasn't always in the starting lineup to start the year. He's kind of a number 2 pitcher on this team, but has hit the ball well throughout the year and kind of asserted himself into that cleanup spot, a guy with a little bit of pop there. But this is the order, you know, once you get behind that 1, 2, 3, this is where Keene's kind of struggled to find consistency in getting production to add on to what the top of their order can do.
Falling behind 2-0 here on Elias Azizadine is Xavier Lampert. Blackbirds strung together a little bit of a rally in the bottom of the third. And we're grounded again. Nice play again by Max Herter. Flips and good pick there at first as well by Stacy. Route number 2. So quickly 2 up, 2 down. Just 4 pitches here for the Blackbirds in the bottom of the fourth. Brings up Caden McDaniels. Also saw McDaniels lead off for a good portion of this year.
Yeah, one of the bright spots I think on this Keene team, you know, a young player in his first year in varsity has really shown the ability to have strong at bats. He's patient at the plate. He could work pitch counts, look for his spots. He knows how to take what's given to him. Plays a solid infield. So definitely a bright spot in this Keene lineup.
And brushing it back a little bit. Not very quick though. Definitely off speed from Lampert. And it's 1-1. Try to keep the inning alive. And to do up next is Nolan Connors if he's able to. And he will do just that. Lined into left field, a base hit. So 2-out single for McDaniels. Does indeed get it to Connors. Again, we'll see if the Blackbirds can maybe string something together here with 2 outs. It was the Clippers who did it in the top half of the inning. They were able to push across their 4th run. After it looked like a pretty quick inning was going to be happening for Bergquist on the mound. I want to miss a little bit low. And that was just the 46th pitch for Lampert. He's worked 3 2/3 so far. Connors, did he foul it off? No, he did not. The throw actually gets over the first baseman's head, and it's going to go out of play. Do they give him the plate? No, they will not. McDaniels will have to retreat back. They didn't know if maybe they were going to give him home plate on that one, but he was at first, so obviously both guys entitled 2 bases with the ball getting away.
Yeah, I'm thinking.
Curious to see how that's ruled.
I guess we're the official scorekeepers.
Yeah, basically.
I think Connors was up the line there.
He was pretty close to beating that throw.
And I think he might have beaten that throw regardless.
Yeah, I think that's probably a hit and an error right there.
I'm giving it a hit in the air. It's official now.
So now here's Bergquist, a chance to drive in runs here for the Blackbirds. By far the best chance that they've had. They did have first and second with 2 out. Now they have second and third with 2 out. Here in the bottom of the 4th, they had first and second with 2 out last inning. For French grounded out to third to end it. This is a big at bat here though in the middle innings. Blackbirds trying to claw their way back a little bit. Bergquist pops it up, but that's gonna get out of play foul.
Tough error there for Herder, who made 2 good plays there. First 2 outs of the inning.
I thought for sure he had another there.
Yeah, and kind of just one of those like in between, like even we were saying in the booth, like is that ball fair? Is it foul? Kind of saw him go through the same thing there, you know, not really knowing if he had to make that throw or not. Just that little lapse in confidence there, in assertiveness, leads to the error.
That one in there for strike 2. Lampert 1 pitch away from getting out of it once again. This will be number 51 of his outing to Bergquist. His counterpart, and it will not be made. He'll step off. I almost thought for a second maybe it was just the sound of the bat, but I almost thought that ground ball that Connors hit might have got a piece of him, so I almost thought at first it was a foul ball. But umpire ruled it didn't. Much better view than I have.
Maybe hit the plate.
Might have hit. I heard something.
Chop it straight down.
Yeah. Here's the 1-2. Grounded right back to the pitcher. He'll flip to first in time, and that will do it. So the Blackbirds squander another 2-out opportunity to get on the board as we head to the 5th. Still 4-0.
After high school, it's not always easy to see the path meant for you. College? Starting work? What's going to pay off best and deliver the return you need? What's the closest option to a sure thing? At Keene State College, the Construction Safety and Construction Management programs connect you with paid internships and real industry relationships from the start. Thinking about ROI? $75,000. That's the average starting salary. And 100% of safety graduates who choose the field are employed at graduation. Not job searching, not hoping, working. With a clear path to leadership, management, and serious upward mobility. This field is in demand everywhere, right here in New Hampshire and far beyond. And at the heart of it, you're the one keeping people safe and healthy. That's a career that matters. This is the higher ed path less taken, with the kind of upside that speaks for itself. Construction safety and construction management at Keene State College. Let's start building your future.
There's a look over at the Keene High School track. It looks like a little bit of a lacrosse practice is going on over there. Looks like for women's lacrosse, or over there girls lacrosse. As Blackbird baseball currently trails 4-0. We'll have a new pitcher though. Colin Tinnen will move over from center field to pitch, replacing Solis Bergquist. Bergquist working 4 innings and did allow the 4 runs. So we'll see how he fares here against the Clipper lineup.
Be Tinnen's 6th appearance on the mound, 16.2 innings, ERA of 2.94. Not a guy who sees a ton of time on the mound here, but senior playing his last game at Alumni Field, getting him on the mound, seeing what he could do here in relief. A little bit of a changeup probably from Bergquist, probably a kid who throws a little bit harder. 18 strikeouts, has struggled with the walks, 21 on the year. We'll see what he could do here against the Clippers.
So Nolan Connors looks like he's gonna, he stays over in right field. Don't know who they put over in center field yet. Have to find out as Tinnen firing in his last warm-up tosses.
Might be Case and Abbott somewhere out there.
13. I believe that is
Case and Abbott.
Yeah, Case and Abbott. So one of the other seniors on this Blackbirds team. Blackbirds have 5 seniors this year. Colin Tinnen, Celise Bergquist, Sam Goodwin, of course, as we mentioned, Abbott, and then Watson Ferguson. And they celebrated them last week in what would be the win over Nashua North, 2-0.
Couple scores around the state. Monadnock locks up the #1 seed in Division III for the Division III tournament next week with a 4-2 win over Conant. They will play again tomorrow in another big local tilt. Check it in on Salem and Timberlane. Timberlane's taking a 4-3 lead there. That game is in the top of the 7th.
Yeah, so that's near the end.
So the Blackbirds could find a way to get some runs on the board here. Things today have so far broke their way in other places.
One's going to hang up for Abbott there off the bat of Stacy, and there's one away. So Tinnen retires his first man, and yeah, as he said, I mean, that's big that Timberlane's ahead, but the Blackbirds are going to have to rally in this one in order for it to really mean anything. Otherwise, they will officially be eliminated from postseason contention. Trying to fight for that last spot. Here's Poulin. Battle of the ones here. Colin Tinnen on the mound. Poulin at the dish. Interesting, well, somewhat interesting story, I guess, about Portsmouth High is that they share the same mascot, same colors as Newburyport High School down in Massachusetts, and also not too far from each other. Both the Clippers, both basically the exact same color scheme.
Very close to each other. Covered a couple games.
Right down the coast, yeah.
Yeah, I've been in my day. It's the Boston Globe covering high school sports in Massachusetts. Got to cover some North Shore stuff, Newburyport, Marblehead.
Yeah. I don't believe the Newburyport Clippers are in D1. I think they're in D2, D3.
It's so hard to keep track of how many divisions are in Massachusetts.
There's
these
so
days.
many, yeah.
That's an interesting one.
Yeah, that one gets away. The throw to first is skipped in there by Bergquist, but it'll be in time. Braden French now takes over at first. He's able to scoop it.
You don't see too many backward K 2-3 putouts.
Yeah, that doesn't happen very often. Yeah, so Poulin strikes out looking. And good job there by Azizadine, able to get over to it fast enough to still get the put out at first. So Tinnen's retired his first 2 men. That one will miss just high for Jack Moreau. Bono is popped up. Azizadine going after it. Now it's the first baseman, French, who will call it off, and he makes a nice play. So good job there from Colin Tinnen in relief in the top of the 5th. 1, 2, 3, go the Clippers. Blackbirds are coming up.
Keene State Athletics on the
Keene State Athletics on the Owls.
The first time I worked with clay, I had this visceral reaction, and I felt like it was the first thing that really came naturally to me. I loved making 3D art. In high school, we had free reign of the studio, so I shifted my schedule to be able to spend as much time in there as possible, and I made dozens of pieces. My high school art teachers inspired me to want to teach art. I originally came to Keene State for graphic design, but it wasn't for me. I wanted to work with my hands. Ceramics fit well into my life plan because I could still work on 3D art and then go on to get my master's in education and become a teacher. Art teaches students to think critically and creatively about problems. For example, when the pandemic began and we all went home, I still wanted to be able to create art, so my brother and I made a wood-fired kiln and ceramic studio. We made our kiln from upcycled materials we found in our hometown and were able to spend family time together making pottery. That kind of creative problem solving, like being able to make pieces while away from the kilns at Keene State, are the kind of lessons I want to be able to teach my students.
Welcome back here on the Owls Media Network, this test broadcast edition of the Keene Swamp Bats, and some fans enjoying the sun today. It's been a beautiful day, again a little on the warm side, but just a great last couple days here in Keene. Tomorrow will be a little bit cooler, but still, I'd say warm enough for shorts, about 70 degrees.
Yeah, we finally taken a turn to summer weather, right? You know, obviously it was kind of a dreary Memorial Day weekend at times, but yeah, the forecast looks good, just in time for playoffs. You know, you hate this time of year with tournaments and stuff to have to deal with rainouts, especially in baseball when you're trying to line up your pitching and stuff like that. So it's nice to kind of have clear skies here for the next week or so at least.
Zaid Trabolski going after the first one. It goes just foul. Almost picked up there just a little bit late by Max Herder.
Just sorting out some Keene High
there were
lineup
some
changes.
moves.
Yeah, so Kason Abbott entered for Aiden Hodgman and went into center. And French shifted over to first base, and Solis Bergquist remains in the lineup. He moved to short.
Okay. Yeah, so Solis still at short. Yeah, we almost thought maybe Trabolski was substituted for, but he remains in the game at left field. And at the plate now. Keene High going to have to get something going quick. They are running out of outs, down to their last 9. Did he go? He did not. That's a good call by the first base umpire. That's ball 2.
Trabolski, freshman, got called up kind of in the middle of this season. Came on hot, won Keene Sentinel Player of the Week from his first varsity week.
That's pretty cool.
Of his career, which was pretty cool. He had a couple big games there in the middle of the season. Another young bright spot. Really solid hockey player, Zaid. Had a great year for the Blackbirds on the ice. Scored a lot of goals. Yeah, it was a busy winter at Keene Ice.
A lot of Keene State hockey there. And that one's in there for strike 3. I guess, apologize there. Thought it was 2-1. I guess 2-2. And Trabolski is down looking for out number 1 here in the bottom of the 5th. Back to the top of the order now, and Colin Tinnen, who's now on the mound for the Blackbirds, at least as of the moment. Would suspect he'll stay out there for the top of the 6th. Because after the first one, couldn't tell if he got a piece of it or not, but it's strike 1.
Lippert started Tinnen with curveballs and back-to-back at-bats now, and then Tinnen's been able to square up a fastball after early breaking stuff in the count. Kind of a similar approach here in the 3rd at-bat now.
Yeah,
we'll see if he gets his fastball now in a 1-1 count.
Yeah, he's been really the only guy so far that's been able to solve Xavier Lampert. 2 for 2, leadoff single in the bottom of the 1st, and then had a double in the bottom of the 3rd with 2 outs. Kick-started a little bit of 2-out trouble from the Blackbirds, but they were not able to drive anybody home. Just like the bottom of the 4th, that one sails over his head. Has to get out of the way. A little off-speed pitch there. Kind of see the football field from that angle. Talk about a team that battled a lot of injuries this past fall. I know you certainly know covering it, Mike. They had a lot to deal with.
Yeah, you know, Braden French got hurt midway through the year. Kason Abbott, who is expected to be a big impact player for them, got hurt after the first week. You know, there were some playmakers to be excited about, but I think if you told Sean DeCoste that Colin Tinnen would be playing quarterback at the end of the year, he would say that some things went wrong.
Probably not ideal, yeah.
Yeah, you know, obviously a tremendous athlete, but not a guy who's, you know, played a ton of that position, particularly at the high school level, but did a really, you know, good job kind of running like a almost like a wildcat-like offense there towards the end of the year. As he gets on base for the 3rd time today.
Yeah, he's been on base all 3 at bats. Brings up Sam Goodwin now, so base runner now with 1 out. Blackbirds. It's been the first time they've had a base runner with this few outs since the 1st inning. See if now, maybe with less than 2 outs, they can start to do some damage. Here's Goodwin. 0 for 1 on the line sheet, but took ball 4 his last time up. Went in there for strike 1.
A lot of first pitch breaking balls we've seen from Lampert today.
You almost wonder if, I mean, you got to make adjustments at the plate. You got to start expecting it if you're seeing it so much. There's an 0-1. Runner goes. It's swung on and missed, and that caught the catcher on the backswing.
Is that a foul ball or a?
Couldn't tell.
Looks like they're sending Tinnen back to.
Are they saying? Yeah, they are saying that was a foul ball. I don't know about that. Like, I mean, the backswing caught the helmet there of the catcher, Hugh Herter, and now the umpires are going to discuss this one a little bit.
Yeah, you know, it's a tough call for the umpire behind the plate because obviously you hear the ball hit the dirt, which kind of sounds like these dead metal bats that they have now. So right to go to the conference, and Sweeney right to ask for a little help there.
I think
they're gonna keep it a foul ball and keep Tinnen at first.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely hard to reverse that kind of stuff when you make the initial call, unless the other umpire saw something really clear. Obviously, the Blackbirds dugout not very happy with it. Otherwise, Tinnen would have gotten a second, but either way, it's still 0-2.
Goodwin also caught the catcher with his backswing there too, so there was kind of a lot going on in that play.
There's the 0-2, and that one's going to hit him.
Ball don't lie.
He hits him on the 0-2 pitch, so forget about that. Now it's 1st and 2nd with 1 out. As you say, ball don't lie. Certainly not what Lampert was trying to do with an 0-2 pitch. The back door kind of runs inside and hits him.
Another big spot here for French. He's been up now twice with a couple runners out there for him. Hasn't been able to bring anybody across yet.
I think this is going to be another conference. Don't think it's going to be a pitching change. Coach Sweeney will meet once again with Tinnen and French.
So here's one where now Lampert's a guy who's shown he'll throw a get-me-over curveball early in counts. He's done it to Tinnen now twice. He did it to Goodwin there. He did it to French in the last at-bat when he had runners on.
Yeah.
So if I'm Mike Sweeney with a hitter that has the experience and the knowledge of Braden French, you're allowed to sit first pitch curveball here and try to put it on the moon.
Yeah.
I have no problem with that.
Yeah, why not? I mean, swing at that first pitch. Get your first home run of the season at home. Probably your last home game.
So many high school hitters go up there looking for first pitch fastball, and I think that's kind of Lampert's strategy of, if I could throw my curveball for strikes, I can get ahead. Let's see if he does it here.
First pitch. Again, it's another off speed, but that one will miss.
Doesn't quite catch the front door there, but yeah, that's something. If I'm in the Keene High dugout, I'm making sure everybody's aware of. Like he's throwing his off speed early in counts.
1-0. Big swing there from French, but a little bit late. He fouls it back. Blackbirds had 2nd and 3rd in the bottom of the 4th, but it was with 2 outs. They have 1st and 2nd now with 1 out here in the bottom of the 5th. Also had 1st and 2nd with 2 out in the bottom of the 3rd. So they've had some opportunities these last few innings to break through against Lampert, but have not been able to do it so far. We'll see if that changes here. The 1-1 pitch to French. And the Blackbirds have not hit a home run here at Alumni this season. That one upstairs for ball 2. And now a hitter's count for Braden. Lampert's had to labor a little bit these last couple innings.
Looks like Portsmouth sending an arm out to the bullpen to get ready.
Pitch number 69 is going to be grounded sharply to second. It could be 2. Flipped there for 1 and on to first. It is a double play. So once again, frustrating for this Blackbird offense. They cannot break through, yet despite another opportunity and still trail 4-0 as we head to the 6th.
If we should ever falter, should we ever hang by a string, remember we had each other through all the seasons, through everything. These unspoken wonders, these stories left to tell, there can't be any other who loves me quite as well. Through it all, summer, winter, spring, the wave of still my everything.
Top half of inning number 6, the Clippers are coming back up and still have a 4-0 lead. Last few innings, there have been some chances for the Blackbirds, but have not been able to break through so far. And now have just 6 outs to work with if they want them out. A comeback in this one. Colin Tinnon, though, stays on the mound. He had a good top of the 5th. Retired the side in order.
It was actually the first inning that, that Portsmouth didn't record a hit in.
Yeah, I mean, they've been peppering the ball around the field this game. 11 hits, as you see on the line score there. Tinnon still finishing up his warm-up tosses here. This will be his last one.
Update in Salem, Timberlane leads that one in the bottom of the 7th, 5-4. Salem has 2 outs with the tying run at second base.
Yeah, so
we'll let you know when that one goes final.
Yeah, so that game could be over in just a moment. Unless the Blue Devils are able to keep it alive, perhaps even walk it off. It's now 0-1 in that at bat. So here's the first pitch of the top of the 6th from Tinnon. And it's in there for strike 1. To the number 8 man, Nate Delaney. Delaney 1 for 2. Doubled and struck out. Nice ball for a double his first time up. Big swing there. He comes up empty. It's 0-2. And Portsmouth coming in. Very similar record to the Blackbirds, 5-12. Just played one less game. And that game has now gone final. Timberlane gets the win over Salem, 5-4. Gonna be popped up. Azizadine calling for it, and he makes the catch in foul territory for the first out of the top of the 6th. Brings up the number 9 man, Blaze Bokash. So Salem losing that game, I mean, that helps the Blackbirds, but again, only if they are able to somehow pull this one out in the late stages.
Yeah, it's really kind of been a day of what if for the Blackbirds, you know, a couple hits here, a couple hits there.
Yeah, this could be different.
Different box score.
Could be 4-2, 4-3. Just a bloop and a blast away even from tying the game. They've had their opportunities the last 3 innings, but just have not been able to break through. First pitch missing there to Bokash. Here's the 1-0. That one again way upstairs, ball 2. So if Portsmouth is able to hold on, this will be the last game of the regular season and the season in 2026 for the Blackbirds. Portsmouth trying to keep their slim playoff hopes alive as well. Upstairs, ball 3 to Bokash. He's in a terrific count here. I always think, though, in 3-0, you're probably taken.
Yeah, especially the number 9 hitter is not typically someone that gets that 3-0 green light.
And he is indeed taken. That's fired in for a strike. Now an ideal hitter's count here, 3-1.
Yeah, you'll maybe have, you know, 1 or 2 guys in your lineup that up 4-0. You'll give that green light to.
That one is off the plate, ball 4. 5-pitch walk to the number 9 man. Brings up the top of the order once again in Hugh Herder. Brother Max out assume on deck. Both have the same last name, both spelled the same way. Hugh a catcher, Max third base. crowd on hand here today for, again, what could be the last game of 2026 for the Blackbirds. Throwback to first, nicely scooped there by French. Misses for ball one. Herders had a good day. 2 for 3 with an RBI. Actually drove in, not the game's first run. Max Herder drove in the game's first run. Back to first there, and safely in is Bokash.
Hey, Hill, come on now. Hey, Hill, hey, Hill.
Tendon falling behind another hitter here, 1-0. Fell behind 3-0 on Bokash and eventually walked him on 5 pitches. Holding them on closely there at first. That one upstairs, ball 2.
Struggling with the strike zone a little bit. Obviously retired his first 4 he faced in order here. Walked the number 9 guy on 5 pitches. Now a couple pitches behind here and the leadoff guy. Just gonna settle back in, just keep going strikes.
2-0 will not be made. Looks like he has something in the eye there, getting it out. I think the bugs will probably start to be a factor now with this type of weather.
Hey, Hill, hey, Hill. 3. Hey, 3.
It's the 2-0. We'll check on Bokash again, but once again, he's back in safely.
Yeah, the Swamp Bat's aptly named for.
Yes, right near the swamp. Yeah, right next door, right off to the right.
At night. If you've never been to Alumni Field before in the summer, you can't bring enough bug spray.
Oh my God, it's like,
I promise, you cannot bring enough bug spray.
It's like that clip of like Jabba Chamberlain in Cleveland when he's fighting the midges. Yeah, it's like that. It's.
That's a classic callback. That's a good one.
Yeah. I think it was a playoff game, Yankees and Indians. Runner goes, and it's going to be popped up.
Sun might be an issue over there for Caden.
See if he's able to make the play. He is. So McDaniel's battling the sun a little bit, but he makes the catch for out number 2. So Hugh Herder retired there on the pop-up, and now here's Max Herder.
Let's go 2-1 extended.
Should be a great summer for the Swamp Bats.
I think so, yeah.
See, you know, obviously there's some returners, but there's always so much new faces, new players to get ready for. But some exciting names. Obviously, there's a local again on the mound, Zach Whitney, Northeast 10 Conference Rookie of the Year at Southern New Hampshire this year.
Runner goes again. Good throw from Azizadine. He came off the bag, but he still beat it. Thought that maybe Bergquist had the tag on him initially, but the umpire said he did not. And so that's a steal for Blaze Bokash.
Yeah, strong throw there from Azizadine. Thought it was there in time. Bergquist must have just missed on the swipe.
Yeah, he did slide past the bag a little bit, but was able to get his hand back on before the tag. So now a prime RBI spot for Max Herder, looking for his second. One upstairs for ball 1.
But yeah, some New Hampshire flair on this year's Swamp Bat team. Very excited to see Jackson Marshall, who some people will remember from his days at Pinkerton as a basketball star, baseball star for the Astros. Had a monster year for UConn.
We'll get to that, probably catch up on that in just a moment as he lines out to the right fielder. Connors will head to the bottom of the 6th. Blackbirds going to have to string something together if they want to keep their playoff hopes alive.
Keene State Athletics on the Owls Media Network. By Chartwells. Eli Thayer at Edward Jones, located at 108 Main Street in Keene. The New Hampshire Army National Guard. Visit nationalguard.com/NH. By Hamlet Electric. By New Car Nissan of Keene. Everyone loves a new car. By Bella Vance Beverages. Sullivan Tire. We are always here to get you there. C&W Services. Fenton Family Dealerships. The GFA Credit Union. Engelberth Construction. The Luxury Box Photo Booth. The Melanson Company. WW Building Supply. The Keene Swamp Bats. Brickhouse Pizza and Wings. Fieldstone Land Consultants. Quality Care and Collision. The Fieldhouse at Homestead Mills. Cliffy's Pub, Northeast Delta Dental, and Sid's Carpet and Snooze Room.
Bottom half of inning number 6 from Alumni Field as we're just past 6 o'clock here on a Wednesday night. And it'll be Kason Abbott to lead things off. Came in defensively in center field for Colin Tinham when he took the mound for the Blackbirds. He's done a nice job, has kept the Clippers off the board. Kept this game still at 4-0, but now the Blackbirds offense has to do their part. They've had quite a few opportunities to get this game either closer or even perhaps if they could string together some hits, even tie it, but just have not been able to find that big hit so far.
Abbott obviously is his first year playing baseball, known for his feats on the football field, on the basketball court. Decided to pick up a third sport this year. Good athlete.
And he's going to kind of fist that one off to the second baseman, Moreau. He flips in time. Very close there at first, but just unable to beat it out is Abbott, and that's the first out.
Yeah, that's kind of, you know, what Keene wants a guy like Abbott to do at the plate. You know, a guy who, it's tough to come back to a sport that you haven't played for a few years, right?
Oh, sure, yeah.
But a kid like Kason, with the athleticism and the speed, just focus on putting the ball on the ground and making something happen with your feet.
And then there for strike 1 to Azizadine.
Nice job by the second baseman there to kind of come up on the slow roller, get rid of it quickly to get the out.
Taps that one foul, 0-2. That was pitch number 73 of the outing for Xavier Lampert, who stays out there. Maybe see if they'll try to get a complete game out of him.
Yeah, that would certainly set them up nicely for the rest of the week. You know, they had somebody in the pen at the end of last inning. I think the double play maybe bought them a couple extra batters. No one warming up in the pen now.
Yeah.
If they have, you know, somebody ready and waiting now in case Lampert gets into some trouble here. But he's been really efficient this entire game. He's thrown strikes. He's gotten ahead of hitters.
There's the 0-2. Big cut from Azizadine, got a piece, but right back into the mitt of the catcher Herder, and that's the second out of the bottom of the 6th.
It's the 5th strikeout there for Lampert. So, you know, like I was saying, he's working ahead,
Mm-hmm.
and he's putting Keene high hitters in situations where they can't really key in and hit something hard. They're kind of batting defensively, just looking to get balls in play and stuff like that, and just haven't been able to capitalize and string enough things together.
There's Caden McDaniels, again, trying to keep the inning alive. Let's have a hit in this one. Base hit to left field. And this will be a 1-0 here from Lampert. That one inside again, 2-0. Weather at the start of this game was about 83 degrees and mostly sunny, as it's been throughout this afternoon. The 2-0 goes after that one on the ground, too short. Nice stab there. Flip to first is in time. And it's a 1-2-3 again from Xavier Lampert. We head now to the 7th. Still 4-0 Clippers.
My name is Irini Stefanakos. I am an environmental studies graduate from Keene State. I just always had a passion for being outdoors and outdoor activities, so I figured why not choose a path where I can do that in my work. I did an internship with the Harris Center for Conservation my senior year. The best part for me was learning really what I want to do with my life, with my education. That internship really gave me the confidence and experience to go out and land a job as an aquatic biologist for Water and Wetlands in Grafton, Massachusetts. At Water and Wetland, we take part in the management of local ponds and lakes throughout Massachusetts, Rhode Island, and Connecticut. I typically spend my days collecting basic water quality data to monitor the health of these ponds and lakes, while also sometimes conducting herbicide and algicide treatments. This job is very niche, and that the fact that it's aquatic based, I didn't think that's the path I would go, but here we are, and it's actually really cool, and I'm enjoying it a lot. So.
Nice shot of the scoreboard there as we head to the top half of inning number 7. Perhaps the final inning we'll play today. 4-0 Portsmouth. And as you see the hits there on our scoreboard, 11-4 in favor of them. Clippers have committed an error, but Blackbirds have not been able to make it pay. They'll also have a new pitcher here in the top of the 7th. It is one of the seniors, Watson Ferguson, who will take the mound. one of 5 seniors on this Keene High team, and all of them are going to likely have the chance to end their high school careers here on the field.
7th appearance on the year for Ferguson. Struggled a little bit with strikes, 20 walks on the year to 16 strikeouts, 6.68 ERA on the mound, 0-2 in the season. Hoping to end on a high note here with a 1-2-3 in his final inning at Alumni Field.
It was interesting to me too. I mean, senior night was last week, but obviously not the last home game of the regular season, when a lot of teams typically do it. So Ferguson will get 3, 4, 5 of the Clipper lineup. Lampert, Hooper, and Stacy due up. And getting in his final warm-up tosses here. Yeah, next Thursday, the Keene Swamp Bats will open up the 2026 home season against the Danbury Westerners here at 6:35 at Alumni Field. Bats went 1-1 last year against Danbury. Danbury was not a very good team, but what's interesting is that their only loss was in the home opener, or excuse me, in the season opener down in Danbury. It was an ugly 12-4 loss for the Bats, so things actually did not start very well last year for Keene, but after that they went on a crazy win streak and things were firing on all cylinders. It was really just that opening game.
Yeah, sometimes, you know, in the collegiate seasons, you don't really have everybody to start, and it's obviously a group of guys who had only been together for a few days when they hit the field for the first time.
Oh, sure, yeah.
So that first week of the season is like a total wild card sometimes.
It's got to be an odd feeling, too. I mean, you're going, for a lot of these guys, this is nowhere near their home.
Although this year there's a lot of New Hampshire guys on the team, as we started talking about last inning. You know, Zach Whitney's obviously a Keene guy, played here at Keene High, and then did a post-grad year, and now is at Southern New Hampshire. Had a tremendous first season.
That one's skied in the air to right. Connor's giving it a look, and it is out of here on top of the barn. A home run for Xavier Lampert. He's had an outstanding day on the mound, and now add that to the repertoire as well, as Watson Ferguson just smiling there after that one. That ball was tagged. Makes it 5-0 Clippers.
That's his 5th of the year. We talked about it earlier in the day. He's kind of their thumper as well as their ace. Almost got one to the barn out there in right field.
I couldn't tell if it went like off the top of the roof, kind of where it's slanted. I don't know.
I don't know if
it might have landed before it. Let's see again if we can see on the replay. Yeah, there's Connor's giving it a look, and yeah, I don't know if it hit the barn at all, but
it did maybe get up there.
Yeah.
That's a fun poke for a left-handed hitter here. Obviously, you know, the gap is really short and the center field is really short, but down the line, it actually is no gimme there.
No,
it's such a weird
park
layout here in Alumni, where it's 354 down the line and right, which is probably deeper than it is in parts of right center.
Oh, sure.
And it's got to be one of the most bizarre layouts.
It's deeper than a lot of major league ballparks, too, for certain.
Well, certainly down the line,
yes. All the way down. And that's what's crazy. I mean, like, the pesky pole at Fenway Park, I think, is like 302 officially. It might even be a little bit less.
But then it skirts right out.
Yeah. But then, yeah, I mean, if you're going to hit one of the bullpens there, you got to hit it a lot harder. It's 380 out there. There's a 2-2 from Ferguson. And skipped in the dirt. Full count here to Hooper. Lead-off home run to that man, Xavier Lampert, and that ball was crushed instantly off the bat. You knew it was probably leaving the yard and might have got off part of the barn there. Swing and a miss. Good strikeout there from Ferguson. He gets him on a full count, and there's one away for Cam Stacy. Stacy will have a chance. Jake Poulin, the shortstop, on deck. Blackbirds trailing 5-0. We'll have one more look in the bottom half of this inning. Gonna have to put together a ton of offense very fast. There's the 1-0 from Ferguson, misses for ball 2. Looks like all 5 seniors for the Blackbirds are going to end 2026 on the field, as Ferguson was the only one before this inning who hadn't been on the field at any point.
Excellent career at Keene High as a downhill skier for Watson.
I almost forget they have those, they have downhill skiing, they have cross-country skiing.
Yeah, actually, two of the better, more consistent programs at Keene over the last few years.
Going to miss a 4-pitch walk there to Stacy, and brings up Poulin. So he'll have a base runner here. As mentioned, Watson, one of the seniors, also Colin Tinnen, Solis, who got the start in this one, Sam Goodwin, and Kason Abbott. Abbott came in defensively, also got an at-bat in the bottom of the 6th.
It's obviously, tough to not make playoffs as a senior, but there's still so many ways you can have an impact on future success of the team as a senior class, right? Kind of helping set a culture for the younger guys and stuff like that. And I think that those are some of the most important things that Mike Sweeney wanted to focus on in his first year as head coach here, was kind of just resetting a tone here in Keene High baseball. He's the 3rd head coach in as many years.
Yeah.
So just kind of setting something in motion, getting those first steps. And obviously, you play to win the game, right? You always want to make playoffs. But I think, really this year was just kind of about resetting things, getting a culture in place, and kind of teaching some fundamentals and setting something in stone of, like, this is how Keene High wants to play baseball. We know Mike Sweeney's a great baseball coach. He hasn't coached at the high school level, but he's a manager of the year in the NECBL. Won an NECBL championship here with the Swamp Bats. Has done really great things at the youth level in football and baseball, and obviously knows his stuff when it comes to the game of baseball, right? So you have the right guy in place now, managing your team and leading your program, and it's going to take a few years. It takes a couple of years. It's a cycle in high school baseball, but once you get that culture and that tradition in place, you look at a place like Monadnock, right? And what I always say about Monadnock is tradition doesn't graduate. So once you can kind of set it in motion and you get it there, it's amazing how then it naturally just starts to carry over year to year to year to year. And it's not dependent on, we just need to wait for one senior class to come through and kind of lead the charge. It can roll over year to year. And I think that's what Mike Sweeney wants to see here at Keene High. And Keene's always traditionally been such a baseball town, right? So this is a place where you want to see the high school baseball team be competitive every year.
Yeah. Yeah, I think a lot of that has to do with the Swamp Bats as well. Have been here for almost 30 years now. Be coming up on 30 years in a couple of years. First season in 1998. Yeah, one of just 2 teams, as Ryan Hearn said, to win 700 games in their tenure in the NECBL. And we're going to have a mound visit here with Azizadine and Ferguson, try to calm them down a little bit. Been missing the zone a little bit lately.
Just a staple collegiate summer baseball team program the Swamp Bats have become here, right?
Yeah.
Obviously the landscape of collegiate summer ball, even just in New England, has changed so much over the year with, the FCBL kind of coming in and being a for-profit league, and there's just so much summer baseball in this area, and I think Keene has really kind of separated themselves.
We're going to get past the Zizadine. Both runners are going to move up to 2nd and 3rd, now 2-0. And kind of adding to that too, I've always found it, kind of a testament to Keene and just the organization, because they're competing with places like, Newport, Rhode Island. I mean, Newport is a place where I think a lot of college students want to go in the off season and play baseball. I mean, it's, the setting and everything like that. And obviously Keene is great, but, just a much different setting than any of those types of places. Newport, Rhode Island, obviously you got Mystic.
It's not Martha's Vineyard, right?
No, or Martha's Vineyard,
obviously the travel there for the Sharks is actually, I had a high school teammate who played for Martha's Vineyard when they were part of the Futures League. And the travel's terrible, but some of those kids get put in like the most incredible living situations.
Oh, sure, yeah.
where they're living in like somebody's, Martha's Vineyard guest house, which is like bigger than the house I live in.
Yeah.
We're going to get a pitching change here.
Yeah, Coach Sweeney going to go to the bullpen. We'll take a quick break here on the Owls Media Network. We'll have the new pitcher for you in just a moment. Bases loaded, and just one out here in the top of the 7th. Blackbirds down 5. Back here on the Owls Media Network, getting a nice look at the sky there as we're in the evening time now, 6:20. Nolan Connors takes over on the mound. Inheriting kind of a tough situation, bases loaded, and just one out here in the top of the 7th, already 5-0 Clippers. Got a couple runs in the first inning and have not looked back. They've led this entire game. But we were talking about a little bit kind of about the location of Keene versus some of these other places. And the good thing about Keene, though, especially for a college kid coming in, is that you don't have to go super far to go a lot of different places. We're relatively centrally located.
Yeah, and there's stuff to do, right? It is a college town, right?
It is, yeah.
So it's already naturally kind of friendly to the college athlete. And there's a downtown, there's a main street, there's, I know a lot of these guys from down south love to get out and get on a boat and fish during the day before they come to the ballpark. There's plenty of places to do that. There's a 36-hole golf course in town.
Yeah.
There's other golf in other areas. So like there's plenty for these kids to do around here. You think of a place like Upper Valley up there in White River Junction where
around Lebanon, and I guess you got Lebanon,
where
no disrespect, but
it's also like where are you housing these kids? Because there's not that many houses within a 20-minute radius of where the Nighthawks even play, right?
Oh yeah.
So even that presents its challenges, right? And so I think Keene, what we have here is while it's not a destination.
Got the line in the left field, a base hit. That'll score 1. Throw coming in quick from Trabulski, so it'll keep it there, but it makes it 6-0 Clippers.
So while it's not a destination, it's still a great little summer town here, and it's pretty pleasant here in the summer when it's not 100 degrees and humid.
We do have some of those days, especially like late June, early July, even to the end of July, August as well. Early August. So Connors allows one inherited run to score. Swing and a miss from Blaze Bocash. 0 for 1 on the line score. Sack bunt, and is also walked his last time up.
I think this might be a pinch hitter.
On deck?
No, here. I don't have their whole roster.
Oh, I think it's still Bocash.
Is it? Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, number 6.
Hey, Blaze! Hey, Blaze!
That's still Blaze.
Hey, Blaze! Hey, Blaze!
At least that's what we heard the Portsmouth dugout shouting. Soft tapper there. Throw's going to go to home, and it gets away. McDaniels, the throw getting away, and a couple more runs are going to score. Bocash down to second, and it's 8-0 Clippers. Thought they had the force at home there. It just wasn't able to be handled by Aziz Dean.
Yeah, throw was just a little low. Came in a little hot. I think kind of caught Aziz Dean by surprise there. That's a tough play for a catcher. Obviously, home plate's not raised, so like you're kind of trying to play it like first base, but the footing's a little awkward. You got a guy coming towards you.
Yeah.
It's a throw that you really want to hit the guy in the chest for, right? But yeah, tough situation here for Keene, where it's just kind of piling up against him now.
Top of the order now, and Hugh Harder due up. Here's the 1-0 from Connors. That'll be ball 2. Try not to reload the bases here. Runners now at second and third. After the errant toss there, perhaps on McDaniels. Upstairs, ball 3. Keene Swamp Bats, going back to some of our discussion about them, they're now 6 NECBL titles. They're at second overall in league history, only behind the Newport Gulls, who have 8. And they actually unseated the Gulls last year as the champions. The Gulls won back-to-back in 23 and 24. So an opportunity now for Max Herter. Bases reloaded. Blackbirds infield in a little bit. Already 8-0. Good stop there by Azizadine. Connors just trying to throw strikes here to get the Blackbirds to the bottom of the 7th. Likely the last time they'll hit this season. 1-0. In there for a strike. Well, finds the zone there. Just got to get a little ground ball right at somebody, get out of it. Obviously, damage has already been done. Well done in this game, outside there. Up and away, ball 2. Portsmouth with a win would go to 6 and 12. Blackbirds would end the season at 6 and 13. And also would avenge their loss from last year, which the Blackbirds beat them in Portsmouth 5-2. This one grounded to short, to second for 1, on to first, and it is a double play. Well, good job there by Connors to get the ground ball, but a few more runs score. Actually, 4 more runs score for the Clippers. Will head to the bottom of the 7th. It's 8-0.
We know you will find your community along Appian Way here at Keene State College. Over a campfire on the Student Center lawn. In some friendly games and competition. Or in a club you connect to at the Student Involvement Fair. Maybe you will find your people on the courts, in a cheering section in the stands, at the rink on the ice, skating as an owl, or chilling in the yoga studio. Your connections may take place on the quad, listening to music, hanging out with friends, participating in a Keene State tradition like Pumpkin Palooza, or working on a group project, studying with classmates. Maybe your talents will bring you together with your community on one of our stages, in the main theater, or the recital hall at the Redfern Arts Center. For us, community is all about the people you meet and the connections you make. At Keene State, our community is really about you.
Welcome back. As you see on the scoreboard there, Blackbirds, a lot of work to do here in the bottom of the 7th. They trail 8-0, and it's still the same man out there for the Clippers, Xavier Lampert, trying to throw a complete game here on the road. And also a complete game shutout. Blackbirds at least trying to break that up. We were talking a little bit about Swamp Bats head coach Sean McKenna during the break. He's at 123 career wins as manager. Took over in 2019 and has now won a couple NECBL championships.
Yeah, he's climbing the rankings there. He'll probably become the all-time winningest manager this year.
Yeah.
Chasing Marty Testo, who had 140 wins.
Yep.
Mike Sweeney's in second all-time with 139. You'll have that right, Ryan?
Yeah, so potential to catch both of those guys this year. Connors going after the first one, and it's going to get through for a base hit. A good way to start the bottom of the 7th for the Blackbirds as they try to at least break up the shutout bid. There's Celise Bergquist now. Number 8 man, Zaid Trabulski, is on deck. trying to finally break through against Xavier Lampert. Again, they had many chances when this was still a 3-4-0 game, but could not do it any time. Nice stop behind the dish there by Herder. Here's the 1-0. Went in there for a strike to Bergquist.
It is nice to have 3 managers who are all still in town be at the top of your managerial standings, right? Obviously, Marty, the AD over at Keene State.
Yeah.
Sean coaches, you know, with on Justin Blood's staff there over there at Keene State, and now Mike Sweeney here in the third base box for Keene High.
Yeah.
It's nice to see those guys who've had so much success, been such a nice big part of the community here.
Yeah.
The sports community still kind of be around and be a part of it.
Bergquist with a little blooper into right field that gets down for a base hit. So now all of a sudden a couple hits here for the Blackbirds against Lampert. Now first and second, nobody out. Jim McKenna will be in his 7th season this year as head coach. Actually 6th. Well, what, 2019? Oh. So actually, first season officially as head coach, well, 2020, but obviously no year that year. So we don't really count that, but 21. The first full season as manager. Gary Calhoun was the bats manager back in 2019 when they won the title there. And look at the moon there. Nice shot of that. Even with it still being daylight out. As Trabulski pops this one up in the center. And able to make the catch is the center fielder, Bo Cash. The throw is going to go to third. Both runners, actually Connors, only tagged up. And I'll make it first and third, 1 out. So top of the order in Colin Tinnon. And the guy who has seen Lampert the best today. 2 for 2 in his reach base, all 3 at bats. Sam Goodwin would hit next.
Swamp Bats camera crew's getting their work in today. Like
they are, yeah.
They're getting their reps. They're doing a good job out there. Good job, guys.
Yeah. Ryan was saying we just have to fix one of the cords there, which we will certainly. Swung on a miss there from Tinnon. Yeah, this has been great. I mean, I think the first time we've done one of these test broadcasts, we've had a full crew on board. Usually it's just Ryan Hearn in the corner moving all the cameras from his little computer.
Ryan's no stranger to doing multiple jobs.
No, certainly not.
During a game. Does a great job here with the Swamp Bats.
Yeah, year in, year out.
And does a great job over at Keene State with all the graphics you see and everything you watch with Keene State, Keene Swamp Bats. Keene State is widely regarded as one of the better production teams out there, and it's well earned. Ryan does a great job. That crew does a great job. Ryan, you do a great job with the play-by-play with Keene State. I really think that production has gotten a lot better every year.
Yeah.
So credit to you guys there.
Allen gets away from the catcher. No advance for Tinnon, but down to second goes Bergquist. So now second and third with 1 out. 3-1 pitch will be made here to Tinnon. Now all of a sudden base hit could score a couple. You know, it's almost like that senior day game we did last year when the Blackbirds trailing big, but did break up the shutout in the bottom of the 7th. It's the 3-1 in there for strike 2. Tinnon trying to get Keene High on the board. And at the very least, break up the shutout bid for Xavier Lampert.
I wonder if Lampert will come with a 3-2 curve. No, it goes with the heat.
He doesn't, and it's lined to center right at the center fielder. It's caught, and because of that, Connors had started going a little bit, and he had to go back to tag, and nobody scores.
Yeah, just a mistake you hate to see on the base pass. You know, you see a ball hit hard. It's human nature to want to go forward, but you miss out on a run there.
Yeah, Sweeney kind of just briefly explained that to him. It was lined right at Bo Cash in center and didn't have to come in very far, but made the catch, lined right at him, and Blackbird's not able to get anything. We'll see if they can salvage something here with Goodwin at the plate. 0 for 1 on the line score, but has reached twice. A walk and also was hit by a pitch. Hit by an 0-2 pitch as well. Has to feel a lot better. 1 up and away, ball 1.
Yeah, they get ice. They'll be all right.
Yeah. I've always heard, I mean, it definitely makes sense. You don't feel any pain when you're hit by an 0-2 pitch. It's just,
no.
You go from being down to getting on base. 1-0, that one finds the plate right over the heart of it for strike 1. That was pitch number 93 for Lampert. He's trying to finish off the complete game shutout. But will Goodwin have anything to say about it? Here's the 1-1. And it's going to be grounded softly to third. The throw is going to go to first. It's off the bag, and there will be no shutout. So maybe not the way the Blackbirds drew it up, but nonetheless, they do get on the board. And it's 8-1 here in the bottom of the 7th. At least put the ball in play, and sometimes good things happen.
Yeah, keeps the inning alive. Gives Braden French another chance. He's left some runners on in this one. I'm sure he'd love to add a couple RBIs to his season number.
Happy to have another opportunity. And that one off the plate, ball 1. (1-0) to him. And we'll see if the Blackbirds can hit a home run here at Alumni this season. French obviously one of the top candidates you would think to be able to do it. He's in a good count here, 2-0. And that one finds the plate for a strike. And Portsmouth keeps their season alive with a win, which obviously looks like they're well on their way to. And Blackbirds season officially over with a loss. Strike 2. Even count here to French.
All fastballs so far to French here in this 4th at-bat, which looks like maybe caught French a little off guard.
Yeah, he was
maybe sitting on an off speed or something like that, but now you got to battle with 2.
Bergquist at third, Goodwin at first. Here's the 2-2, and he fouls it away to stay alive.
That's the definition of battling right there.
Yeah. Next pitch will be 99, or excuse me, next pitch will be 100 for Lampert. Trying to finish this one off on an even 100 pitches. And also knock out the Blackbirds officially here in 2026. Here's the 2-2 again. And it's a soft grounder again to third. This time he's going to charge, flips to first. Nice dig out at first there by Stacy, and that ends the ball game. So the Clippers come in and they handle business. They beat the Blackbirds this afternoon 8-1. Keene High's 2026 season is officially over, and they finish it at 6-13. The Clippers go to 6-12 and are alive at least for another day. A good season overall for the Blackbirds. A tough one in many ways too, but it comes to an end here at Alumni Field as they fall 8-1 in this one. And we'll be all set to head out as we hope you tune in for the Keene Swamp Bats first game here next Thursday. They'll be taking on the Danbury Westerners at 6:35 as they look to begin their 2025 title defense. Thank you all for joining us tonight. For Ryan Goodwin, for Mike McMahon, for Ryan Hernan, also everybody else on our crew. Thank you so much for tuning in for this special edition broadcast of Keene High Baseball. Hope you enjoyed it, and we hope you'll tune in to the Keene Swamp Bats as they open their 26th season next week.
You have been watching a broadcast on the Network. Be sure to follow us on social media at Keene State Owls. And for more scores, stats, and schedules, check out KeeneOwls.com. We will see you in the next broadcast.